All right, so if you're watching this video and you're looking for the top best enclosure that you can possibly buy, this ain't your video. Now, if you're looking for potentially the cheapest setup that you can get, or one that if you send it like I do sometimes and mess it up, it's not hurting your wallet as much. Now, honestly, my last side-by-side, I had a CEC enclosure. They had nice, and I'm gonna pick this product apart too, but it had nice big zippers. If I did bust a window or something, their customer support was great. I could get stuff fixed. Liked them. I had planned on doing this, but I want to do some XO fender work. Need to get everything figured out what I'm gonna do with that before I do a custom enclosure. Now, I had bought a cheaper 4-door enclosure. That's what I had originally intended to do on this machine, but a Teryx 800 enclosure came in and the 1000 was back stock. The company's going to fix it, but couldn't make it work. So this was a last minute effort. I already had the diesel heater ready to go for a trip. So got some trips, got a lot of miles, a lot of use out of this setup already. Now, this is a cheap Amazon setup here. Now, I want to say it was like 75 bucks, 100 bucks, somewhere in there. It was literally the cheapest and quickest thing that I could get and throw something together for a previous trip last month, and we keep using the same setup with the tweak back here, and I'll show that here in a second. Now, this is Starknight. They have little stickers right here that I say stickers, it's a Velcro with an adhesive that's supposed to go here, and then you pop the Velcro. I've had plenty of friends have a similar setup like this on the East Coast with this much mud, getting in and out. It just doesn't do good. The other thing that I'll say that, again, this is a cheap setup, can't knock it, but it is cheap, is the zippers themselves, or the little thin zippers, are not very big. Mud and grit getting in here is it's gonna make this system hard to work, especially as you get really cold temperatures trying to get in and out. Now, what I did here, and this is me playing around with combination, I bought some grommet kits, and I did a little bungee ball right here as an anchor point. And then I used the outer point, which is what rolls the window down into these right here. Now, towing, I've ran 75, 80 miles an hour with this setup, and I just take, now I used a cinch strap. And if you know anything about cinch straps, they typically have like a over webbing right here to stop you from pulling it all the way through. I cut it, put a little heat right here to intentionally be able to take this out and do this full loop. Now, towing, I tie this off somewhere in the back here and then cinch this down. And again, interstate travel, 75, 80 miles an hour. This setup has done the miles already. Now, that's just for trailer. You ready to get back in it? And I'll show a little bit from the inside here. I actually took the hook, cut that off, and then interlooped it in the webbing right here on the door. Came up, went to these 2 points, and then came down. That creates a nice cinch pull factor from that. And I'll show inside what I do here in just a second. All right, so I did manage to put a little hole right here, but it was either really cold, me getting out on the bank, and I'll show a video of how tilted I was and it'll make sense. But one of those two cracked that. But again, this thing. Alright, so it's 20 in Tater's razor. It's 14 there. It's been running for a bit. I'm gonna start the old defrost process here. It's cold. And I am not knocking the cab enclosure itself for getting a hole in it. When I pitched it up hard on the bank, I had to climb out the window to do that recovery. At night, it was a bunch of ice and chunks of mud or something that maybe froze and could have potentially cracked the spot if it was in a perfect position there. And then some of the rougher outlaw trails we ride, if you're not familiar with them, they're not groomed. This is the type of stuff that you can ride around, and if you catch the right tree branch or section that's maybe cut or angled the right way, it's not hard to either scratch up or nick or pop a hole in a cab enclosure. I've done it numerous times in the past. It's part for the course and part of the reason I like that these are so cheap and semi-debating maybe running it for a more extended period. It doesn't hurt my feelings quite as much at $85 for both of them, or 40 bucks a piece to pop one. What I like about this is fairly cheap. Now, a lot of times with a good zipper, you'll unzip it, get in and out. Now, with this setup, I prefer not to, because a lot of times in my experience,
this smaller zipper, you get dirt, mud, debris in there. It's hard to unzip and zip. You might get it up a little bit, but I can't tell you how many times cheap enclosures trying to get that full zip has been a pain. Also, these with the Velcro or the adhesive on the back, like just to show you what's something quick to stick it on. I'll do it on the touchscreen. So seeing that on the touchscreen, and this is my general experience with these enclosures, or this type of enclosure, is especially with us with mud, dirt, moisture, it don't take long for either the adhesive not to stick or the Velcro does not work very well. Again, if you get this set up, try it if you want to. Just in my general experience, it hasn't worked very well in our environment with people that's had them. And it's got just enough room you can squeeze that cab enclosure in and out. Now, if you just do that, you've got room, air, it's going to come through there. And that's where being able to cinch down right here pulls everything down, and it keeps it a lot more tight, along with that little bungee ball up here. And then from here, I just take and loop it around, and I can cinch. If you ride around a little bit and you notice it's starting to get a little slack or whatever, you can come back in and retighten that. That worked great for this trip, and then reverse as you go to get outside the vehicle. So just in case I didn't mention on the outside, this cage is chopped slightly and more lower in the rear than the front, but it uses little cinch points through here. This I deliberately have open and not tight, just so I can reach through and hit the GoPro doing recording and stuff. Most people probably ain't gonna care about that. They're going to keep it as tight and as closed. And running the heater, the enclosure isn't the best thing in the world. It's cheap, it works. But I would say the bottom sections of the doors, the air that comes in from there is probably bigger than anything that gets lost up in this section the way I've got it set up. A lot of times when I come out, I'll cinch that. And again, if you do that and you use a cinch strap, this is going to be the tedious part, try to get that in and looped. And I've got it looped down there through the outside, but I'll just take and add a little bit of slack there. And then voila, it's keeping in there. It's, I mean, a baby of a jungle gym, but compared to fighting zippers, that's my preference. All right, now this was the part that I was kind of curious if it was or wasn't going to work. Had to get a way to kind of like block everything off. This is a 72-inch wide shower curtain. It's the thickest one I could find on Amazon. Now the section up here, you can kind of get in there. That's the factory shower grommets. It's reinforced, and that's what I use for the top section here. Now, you still need a way to secure it here. I did throw a little duct tape there. Again, this setup's been on a trailer at 70 to 80 miles an hour, a couple trips, and I went and did a grommet kit. Now, I'll include an affiliate link. There's multiple little cheap ones here, but the thing you don't want to do, like with a shower curtain or tarp or something like that, is just cut it and not use a grommet kit, because it makes it so much easier to rip. And basically, I went through, get a little closer right here, and basically made my grommets placed in strategic spots so I could throw a zip tie and kind of anchor everything in. The base is kind of just free falling there. And then inside the enclosure, I cut that bottom hole here and left the flap on the top. And that's how I route the diesel heater coming in there. Promise I'm going to do a diesel heater video. I'm just working on all the fine details and getting a lot of trip time on it before I post a video. Hey, this works or don't work, or what I like or don't like about it. But the grommet kit's kind of the key on this. And the same thing, if you went back further, you could, shower curtains, you're kind of a flexible option there. You just don't want to get a scenario where it's flopping or doing something too much. But overall, this kit worked pretty great. I'll include links to everything. But if you have any questions or anything, drop them in the comments. Again, if you're looking for a very cheap way, and a lot of people I know, I have one friend who's got a 4-seater KRX. He just uses this section for tools and storage. Like hardly nobody's ever in the back section here. It's the extra space that he's utilizing there. And he would only be concerned with the front section there. So if that's your category, or if you're in the same scenario as me and you're just trying to quickly and cheaply do it for a trip or something, that's a way to at least get your 2 front seats enclosed and out of the elements a little bit there. Until the next adventure, like, share, and subscribe, and hope you have a great one.